State Your Case. Dave Morris here in the Oklahoma's video studio alongside Chris Hammons of Laird, Hammons, Laird. He will be stating his case about the OU football season. And of course, we know Chris as a former Sooner, co-captain of that 2000 National Championship team. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you, Dave. Appreciate you having me.
Last time we spoke was, I believe, before the Iowa State game, and we were looking ahead to Texas. But Iowa State, out of nowhere, turned out to be a good team this year.
It's a fantastic team. That coach is doing a great job up there with lesser players, quite honestly. But he came into OU, got a big win, and it was good to bounce back against Texas. So.
Well, you kind of called how Texas was going to go. Looking back on that, are you like, yeah, told you?
Yeah, I did. I called it number 81, make the big play to win the game. So Mark Andrews, Baker Mayfield, just doing their thing each week to give us a chance to win.
What are your thoughts on Baker?
Baker is a special player. Each year I've thought, when's he going to fail? He just doesn't have it in him. Special player, Heisman Trophy, it should be his this year.
The Oklahoman's Barry Trammell earlier this week wrote a story that he ranked Baker Mayfield #1 all-time OU quarterbacks. Your thoughts on that? You're a former player and you've seen a lot of these guys. You know a lot of these guys. You can provide yet another perspective. Your thoughts?
You know, Baker, I think he does rank really high. I'm biased. I'm still going to rank Josh Heupel just a little bit above Baker because of the hardware. We won a national championship, but Baker is certainly in that top two, really close to Josh for me.
You know, I think it really comes down to that. At that level of success, it comes down to the championships, right? When you start to compare and divide who's where in the rankings.
It does. Championships matter at OU, but Baker is a championship player. Any way you look at it, whether he wins the Big 12 or gets into the playoffs this year, he's a championship player. He's going to have some hardware. He's going to have the Heisman, I think, this year. So, again, he's right below Josh for me.
He's been in the Heisman top 4, 3 years in a row, or this would be something like that, which I believe only Herschel had done previously. So, a lot of kudos there.
Yeah, he's just an amazing player. Every single week he makes the plays that we need to win. And I mean, having to put up 62, no problem. He did it last week.
What were your thoughts on Bedlam?
Bedlam was an amazing game to watch.
Were you in Stillwater?
I wasn't in Stillwater. We were watching it at home. It's an amazing game to watch. Offensively, just spectacular, both sides of the ball. Defensively, from a purist standpoint, a little shaky. But they made plays when they had to. And they made the big plays when they had to, and it gave us a chance to win.
It was a fun game to watch. One of those games where even towards the last 2 or 3 minutes, you weren't really sure how it was going to turn out.
I didn't know if OSU and their offense was clicking, Baker was clicking with our offense. It was an exciting game.
We've talked about Baker Mayfield and his year. Last time we spoke, we also said, hey, what do you expect from Lincoln Riley? What have you seen from the coach this year?
You know, all you can say about Coach Riley, I think he said it best. Yeah, we're not the best on this or that, but they're winning. And if he wins, you win every week. How can you complain about that? So he's got a winning attitude, and that's half the battle, in my opinion.
Have you seen him make some adjustments along the way?
Yeah, I do think he's made adjustments because Iowa State, that's a crushing loss, and it's a loss that could spiral a team out of control. But he's clearly got leadership. He's giving leadership, and the team's giving leadership through Baker and some of the other players, I'm sure. So to make adjustments and to pull them away from how bad that loss was, and to come back and bounce back and beat Texas and Bedlam, it's a good situation.
As a former player, what are the players going through this part of the season and semester? Are you just immersed in, hey, I've got my classes, I've got the games every week? Is it a fun time?
Yeah. Fun in a way. The wins are fun, but it's a grind. Right now, the team is you're banged up. You're going through a season. You're trying to keep up with your studies and all this other stuff. It's a lot of pressure. I think it's a lot of pressure on student athletes, especially at a high level like this. So these guys are tough. I mean, they're really going through a hard time right now, but they're winning. So I really give them a lot of respect because I've been through it. It's a really difficult situation.
Chatting with Chris Hammons here. He's with Laird, Hammons, Laird. And how is business these days?
Business is great. We're just every day trying to fight for some civil justice for our clients, however that may go. Again, we're always kind of fighting for the little guy, so it feels good when we win those battles.
And I'll give you a chance to tell us more about Laird, Hammons, Laird. What sort of services do you provide? When can people say, hey, Chris, I need some help?
You know, we've tried to have a full service law firm for any of your any legal needs, but our main goal is to help injured people and get the justice they need, get the compensation, fair compensation they deserve.
You're prepping, ready to go to court, aren't you?
Yeah, I got a jury trial on Monday. We prep hard. We have a team that we put together so that we give you the best chance to win in court. But it's kind of like game day comes Monday. You got to go and perform.
You kind of lit up when you said, "Hey, I'm going to court Monday." You look forward to that?
I do. It's like game day for me. I get that same kind of rush, maybe even more of a rush going into court and fighting in court than I did even playing football.
Well, the Sooners play Texas Christian, and as it turns out, a big game coming up Saturday night. Laird, Hammons, Laird is sponsor.
Yeah, we're sponsoring the game. Huge game. We've got Gary Patterson always brings a great team in. They're always very disciplined. You're going to have to play well against Gary Patterson coach team. But huge game in Norman, top 10 matchup. We're really excited.
How did that work out at the beginning of the season when you're picking out, hey, which game do we want to sponsor? How'd you know?
You know, you look at it, it's because I have respect for Coach Patterson and his ball club, and I knew our team would be really good. So I put 2 and 2 together and said, you know what, if I'm going to watch a game, I'm going to watch this one.
Chris, as you know, was also a former competitor on CBS hit reality show Survivor, and you're bringing in some of the crew. You're putting the band back together.
I did. But a lot of our the contestants from the show are coming in. They're going to enjoy the game. I've got Brett LaBelle here in studio.
Your wife Jennifer's over there as well?
Yeah, my wife Jennifer's over there. So he made it to day 37. We also have the winner of our season, Adam Klein, coming in. So it's going to be a special weekend, kind of a Survivor reunion for us. But also, I'm turning these guys into the Sooner Nation. They're all OU fans now.
Is that true, Brett?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a huge OU fan.
All right, there you go. We have confirmation over there at the news desk. What's that conversation? What's that conversation like among Survivor cast members?
You know,
what do you guys talk about?
Well, you know, we always talk about the game and the current season. We're always talking about the ifs, ands, and woulda, coulda, shouldas. But when we have Adam there, we really can't say anything because he's the winner. He's spending our money right now. So, but we always have a good time together, and really, a lot of the guys that stabbed me in the back are going to be in town, and it's okay because
you
that's
say that
part
with
of the
a
game.
smile, but I guess that's part of the game.
It stings still, but it's part of the game, and I'd have done the same thing to them. So we're all really pretty tight-knit group. You go through something like that together, it kind of bonds you.
I mentioned the ongoing show on CBS. You still watch?
We watch it all the time. Brett and I watched last night, season 35. We even have a member of that cast coming into town tomorrow night, so it's going to be a special weekend.
Sooners and Texas Christian, it's Saturday night down in Norman, 7 o'clock. Let's get into some of the things there. Your thoughts on the game, we'll do prediction last, but your thoughts on the game, what to look for, what will you be looking for?
I'll be looking for OU to play a disciplined game. You have to play discipline against Gary Patterson because his team is going to be disciplined. We cannot turn over the ball. We can't make mistakes in the kicking game. You have to play discipline against Gary Patterson or he's going to get you.
Might be the best defense the Sooners have faced.
Definitely. I think it's definitely the best defense the Sooners have faced. We're going to have to pull out some wrinkles in the offense. They're going to have to be – Baker's going to be on full go on this game.
And the Sooner defense.
Sooner defense, it's going to be hopefully bend, don't break, and make plays when we need it. Obviously, they've had some struggles this year in the secondary, but – against OSU, they made the interception in the end zone when they had to. That would have lost the game had they not made that play. So we have the ability to make enough plays to win the game.
Chris Hammons, time to state your case. Your prediction, OU versus Texas Christian.
I think Baker continues his streak of just doing what he has to do to win the game. I do think Mark Andrews, again, number 81, tight end, I think he'll have a big impact. Marquise Brown, huge game we needed out of Marquise Brown. 35-28, I think it's going to be a close one.
35-28, Sooners.
Sooners.
There you have it, Chris Hammons from Laird, Hammons, Laird. Always good to see you, sir.
Thank you, David.
Again, you can find more information on their website if you have legal needs. And, of course, it's right there. Laird, Hammons, Laird, and more coverage of the Sooners can be found on the OklahomaNewsOK.com. Chris, great to see you.
Thanks, Dave.